What's approaching the supreme moment, reality striking closer than it seems, don't it? Go ahead.
What's good? Alright, let's go ahead and start another session for some showcased units. I'm actually excited about this one because I've been wondering for a long time how these guys are at 100%. So this is the Team Bardock grade 8 team at 100% potential. So let's kind of check out how these guys do. I'm not going to cover the stat details too specifically. You'll see it on the left and right side for each member of the team, but Bardock does have that attack boost of 100% as long as HP is above 30% for his passive skill. And he does have the ability to go into grade 8 mode up to 2 times, so the fact that he's on a double lead Tapion team, he could go up to 4 times, so you'll see that a lot. Alright, so the Fascia has the ability to convert some key spheres, and also attack and defense will increase by 30% as part of that passive, so decent little passive setup there. Shugesh is more or less kind of a support unit. He does provide the 5,000 defense boost for all allies, as well as the ability to go into the Giant Ape mode, but like I said, more or less he's a more support defensive oriented type of unit. So yeah, it's kind of overlapping a little bit with the cards and whatnot, but just kind of bear with it. So Borgos is I guess a balanced type of card. He does have the ability to nuke with 7% increase to attack for every key collected. Tora is more or less a support, since he does provide the +3 key if HP is 80% or below. But yeah, it should be a pretty interesting team to test out. I'm guessing it's not the strongest category team, ever, but it's kind of a unique setup, and you don't really hear or see too much about it. So that's why I really wanted to do this category team setup. It's about time Team Bardock got some love shown, you know what I mean? So it's kind of why I'm so happy about doing it. The good thing about this team, I guess, is the Saiyan Roar that adds 25% to attack. That's a great link skill amongst the cards in the team right now. So they do get a boost from that. They do share several other link skills. I'm not going to cover it in detail, but yeah, it's definitely a real interesting team to kind of use and test out. Obviously, it's a server test, so the stats differ a little bit, as well as the ridiculous level 20 for all hidden potential levels. So a little bit unrealistic there, but overall it's not too bad. It'll give you kind of a glimpse of what this team is like at 100%. And this is on the Boss Rush 5 stage, so decent enough power enemies that they're facing. So damage output's not going to be anywhere close to as high as it could be, or compared to other top tier units or category teams. But like I keep saying, it's one of those unique themed category teams that I just kind of wanted to do for a long time. So just happy I'm able to do that, and hopefully you guys are enjoying the video so far too. What's crazy about this team setup is every single one of these guys has the ability to go into giant form, including Tapion. So I've kind of edited things out to where the whole thing isn't ape mode, but during the test there was quite a bit of occasions where they would go into ape mode as continuous after continuous grade ape attacks, or even the Tapion Hirudegarn attack, which is a little bit crazy too, because as long as HP is below 50%, you could potentially go on forever in Tapion's giant form. So that kind of threw it off a little bit when I was recording, but overall it wasn't too bad. Unfortunately, it's type disadvantage here, so I'm not going to have the footage too long for this guy, since, you know, the damage potential is not going to be anywhere close to what it could be. But it's definitely very, very frequent in terms of how many occasions you'll see the giant mode. Just because, you know, the double lead Tapion will add, you know, each Tapion card adds +1 time that they can go into the giant mode. So the fact that it's double lead, that's two extra chances of doing that. So for example, if Bardock already has an ability to go into the giant form twice, you know, that's potentially up to 4 times that he can do that per battle. So it's definitely pretty crazy on seeing the frequency of Bardock and like Fasha going into the Great Ape mode. So Bardock's probably the one that'll hit the hardest out of this team, since he does have that passive skill of attack increasing of 100%. More or less everybody else is kind of in that area of 300,000 to 500,000, which is still pretty decent. But, you know, compared to the really, really powerful category teams, I mean, that's very little in damage compared to those. But it's fun running this type of team. It's not a cakewalk, but it's fun to use. I mean, that's all I can say about it, I guess.
What we do here is go back.
Looks like Tora really wants to go into Giant Ape mode. It seems like him and Bardock, when I was recording, were the two guys that just frequently go into Ape mode for some reason. Alright, so time for revenge against Frieza. It's been a long time coming for these guys. I know Bardock's ready to throw down. It's only fitting that I put in a battle against Frieza here, even though it is the Angel and Angel Golden Frieza. I guess it'll do just fine. And I do like Tapion as lead. He's pretty good. The fact that he can, you know, defend very well. He does have the passive ability of 50% reduction to damage taken, so that certainly helps. Along with his leader skill of, you know, 150% for the HP attack and defense for the giant category. So, you know, that kind of you know, complements each other, and that allows him the ability to defend very well. Alright, so we've got Bardock as the attacker going into Dokkan mode with type advantage, so let's see what kind of potential he's got here. I know he's been, you know, holding out for a long time, so we'll see him unleash. Okay, so without critical, hits for about 3.2 million against the Angel Frieza with type advantage, so decent enough output there. Alright, so we're slowly progressing through this, and I'll probably be closing out in a little bit after this event, but you know, hopefully you guys enjoyed it. It's certainly one of those unique team setups that you really don't hear about or see too much about, you know. So for me, I mean, I've wanted to see this team setup for a while, ever since, you know, the Giant Apes came out. Like, what is a full Team Bardock at 100% potential like? You know, what's their ability, what's their attack firepower, what have you. And I'll definitely make sure to kind of, you know, create videos and upload content that are, you know, themed like this, a little bit, you know, a unique approach, and you don't really see about too often, you know. So we'll keep that kind of session in the future too. Probably better off putting Fasha in the middle there, but you know, it's all good. Well, I guess good timing for this guy to go into Giant Ape, since he does have type advantage. The only complaint, by the way, I have about this category, or not just category, but the Giant Apes, is Bandai really needs to adjust this to where when they go into Giant mode, they still have the ability from their hidden potential system. I mean, it would be so much better if they had, you know, the appropriate levels for criticals. I mean, hell, they could build in another passive for this, you know, Great Apes or whatever Giants. I mean, if you think about it, the Giant Apes, I mean, they were pretty much like berserkers. They went batshit crazy, so they should have a built-in ability for like high chance of criticals or whatever. You know what I'm saying? Like, they're going ape shit crazy. Like, so they need to make adjustments for that kind of stuff. Like, I don't really necessarily care for, you know, additional attack. For all I care, they could do, you know, high chance of criticals and defense. Instead of no damage taken, like it'll have some sort of damage effect or whatever the case may be. But I think it would be a lot more fun to use this category team if whatever unit or card goes into Giant mode, that they still have the ability to crit or even additional attack or whatever. You know, like, I think it would be a lot more fun that way. That's the whole point of the dupe system, right? It looks real nice when the criticals hit. I mean, that's a beautiful thing. I don't know. That's just my opinion. If you guys, you know, have opinions similar to mine or different, let me know in the comments. You know, what kind of adjustments would be better. You know, depending on whatever category team or whatever unit setup. I don't care. So yeah, when HP is below 50%, you know, he goes into his giant form. So, alright, well, we'll go ahead and close out this video with this in line, and hopefully you guys enjoyed it, and stay tuned for next time.